Hi everyone, it's Mr. Rosen here again. Today I've got a video where I'm going to demonstrate how to use FOIL to expand brackets and to simplify them. So using FOIL is really simple, really straightforward, and I'm going to teach you with a couple examples how this works. So FOIL is an acronym, and FOIL stands for First, Outer, Inner, and Last. So first, outer, inner, last. That's FOIL. Okay, and that's an acronym you want to remember when doing these types of questions. You want to memorize that thing. So if you're going to use FOIL, just remember it's first, outer, inner, last. Now, how does it actually work? Okay, let me give you an example here. So let's expand and simplify. This is typically what the questions will say. So here's the example. So we're gonna go with 2x minus 3 times 5x plus 1. Something like that. Okay, so the order of how we're gonna multiply these brackets out, because they're brackets beside each other, which means we're gonna multiply them. That's what it means to expand. So the very first thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna multiply our firsts. And our firsts are these two right here. So these are the first items in the brackets. Okay, so this is the first. So when I do the calculation, I'll go back to blue here. Actually, I'll do it in green here so you can see the colors. Okay, the first is going to be 2x times 5x, and 2x times 5x, so 2 times 5, that'll be 10, and then the x times the x will give me x squared. That's my first. Okay, the next one we would do would be my outers. And my outers is this one right here. So it's the 2x times the positive 1. Okay? So the outers, the two outer elements that are in those brackets. So for the outers, it's going to be 2x times positive 1, which gives me plus 2x. That's my outer. Okay? The next thing I would do is I would do the inner. So I've done these two. Now we do the inner next. The inner is these two right here. So this is my inner. So when I multiply these two elements, we get negative 3 times 5x, which gives me negative 15x. That's my inner, negative 15x. And then finally the last, I'll do it in brown here, the last items is going to be this item and this item right here. This is the last. So it's the last items in each of these brackets, which in this case is negative 3 times positive 1 gives me negative 3. Okay. Now I'll just go back to blue. I did different colors so you could sort of see the order in which case I did this. Okay. So that's fully expanded right now. Okay. The next thing I have to do is I need to actually simplify it. And simplifying, generally, what that means is you have to collect your like terms. So if we're looking at this expression I have here, the 10x squared, there's nothing I can simplify with that one. But the middle two right here, these are like terms. They both just have a variable x. So they can be combined together. So the way you would do this is you basically add the coefficients in the front. So you go 2 minus 15. That gives you negative 13x. And then the negative 3 at the end, there's nothing that combines with that, so you just leave it as negative 3. And that is the answer to that right there. Okay? Let's do another example or two here, just to solidify it. Okay, let's do this one right here. So we'll do 3x minus 5 times 3x plus 5. Okay. Now remember our order. FOIL. Oops. Okay, so let's multiply the firsts. First is 3x times 3x. So 3x times 3x will be 9x squared. Okay, that's the two first items. The outer items is 3x times positive 5. These are the two outer items. Okay, So 3x times positive 5 is plus 15x. Plus 15x. Then we do the inners. The inners is this negative 5 times positive 3x. So that's going to give me negative 15x. And then finally, we do our last items. And the last items is negative 5 times positive 5, which in this case, it gives me negative 25. Negative 5 times positive 5 is negative 25. Okay? Now, it's all expanded. Again, we're going to simplify now. We're going to look for like terms and collect them. And oftentimes, I said the middle ones will be the ones you're going to combine. It's not always true, but many times it will be. Okay, so in this case, the 9x squared, there's nothing common that goes with that, so you leave that one. Now 15x minus 15x, those are the same like terms, so we can add those. And 15 minus 15 is actually 0, so it's technically like 0x minus 25. Now 0x I don't have to write. So my answer is going to be 9x squared minus 25. And that's the answer right there. I'll do one last one. And I'll just make this one up. So we'll do 7x plus 3 times 2x minus 1. Something like that. Okay. So if I'm doing my first would be 7x times 2x. That's going to be 14x squared. Then we do the outers to be 7x times negative 1, which gives me negative 7x. Then we do the inners, which is 3 times 2x. 3 times 2 is 6, so that's going to become 6x. And then we do the last, which is 3 times negative 1, which becomes negative 3. Okay, so that's all expanded now. Now I've got to simplify. And again, our middle number is usually the one we're going to add together. We just have to collect those like terms. So this becomes 14x squared. And we've got two terms that have an x in it, so we can add these. Negative 7 plus 6 is negative 1x minus 3. Okay, because negative 7 plus 6 is negative 1. Now usually that negative 1 is not written, so usually people would write it like this. Just negative x minus 3. Okay, and that's the answer there. So this is just a very quick video on how to use FOIL to expand out brackets. And hopefully you found this useful.